Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! And welcome to episode 1 of season 2. That's right, the last episode was the end of the first season, we didn't mention it. But welcome to our podcast, Sage's Retreat, home of all things dad and games related, current events along with anything else we can think of. My name's Lee, this is my co-host Nathan.
Hello.
And today is our New Year special, where we'll be discussing the good and the bad points of 2020, as long as what's to come in 2021. Nathan, how was your Christmas?
Good, quiet one, which I'm sure a lot of people's would have been as well. Nobody being allowed to see each other.
We're not allowed.
Not allowed, and we didn't. We followed rules, not only because we didn't want to see anyone, but because we couldn't. So that's the excuse for that.
And we didn't want to die. We didn't want to die.
We wanted to be alive for Christmas and the lovely 2021 that was coming along. Quiet. We just sort of kids open the presents. Did a Christmas quiz that my wife made on Boxing Day with yourself, which I'm happy to say you won, which was an achievement.
Well, I'm a superior human being, and that's of course quite no. So a lot of that, mate. The start of that quiz really messed me up. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, but the other sections were like kind of right up my alley, so I sort of smashed it on that one. Especially that really good one with the picture and then finding out the films.
Yeah.
I was just here, just kind of going, this one. Karina was like writing them. I just can't write quick enough. I just can't write quick enough. Slow down. What was that one you said again? So we were just writing them down, and I was like, we were just looking like, surely we've done well on that one.
Yeah.
We seemed, but watching the other videos, of everyone else doing it, I'm like, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
They're still going through it. So there was no guarantee of us kind of winning, but I was just hopeful of doing well, and ultimately, we did win. I mean, the other guys did fine. They did perfectly fine. It wasn't like going, wow, you're rubbish. It was just like, scores going from one to the next. And the quiz was well done. It was good. It was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Because we had fun. We'll have to make it a semi-regular thing. Now we're all locked in house still. What about you? How did your Christmas go?
It was quiet. I mean, what else was it going to be? We definitely didn't go to any family on Boxing Day. Definitely didn't do that because we weren't allowed.
Yeah.
We was only allowed to go Christmas Day, which, we didn't.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't go on Boxing Day.
I believe you.
Yeah. It's from, right, you can feel it. It's right from my heart. I wouldn't lie.
It's sincere.
Yeah. I think that if they were going to... My feelings on this... I mean, we've chatted about the whole coronavirus situation over the last year anyway, but when it came to Christmas, I know that, it's what they consider like a spreader event, isn't it? Where people get together, and if someone has it, they can pass it on, and so you don't want that. We've seen examples of politicians in America that got together, and did what they called a super spreader event, which was the Trump thing, wasn't it? When they all got together, and then loads of them ended up being ill. And then there was some church it happened at. There was also recently a rock festival, like a Christian rock. It was clearly going to be a Christian rock festival. Yeah. It's happened there as well, but they seem to have this attitude of like they can't be touched.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but obviously, I mean, when it comes to being the under 60s, as they always reference the under 60s, it doesn't affect that much. There's been not a lot of under 60 deaths, has there? I know, okay, even one death's too many, but what I mean is it's not been impacting that younger sort of generation. But even if you get together a load of young uns, that's fine. You might not get ill, but you pass it on, won't you? And that's the whole idea of limiting contacts over Christmas. I don't like the way they faffed about with it. Yeah. I think that it was... At the end of the day, this is a very uncommon situation to be in, and the government hasn't got a fucking clue what they're doing. And I don't have a big issue with that. That sounds weird, because it is very... it's grounds that we've not trod on in recent years. Obviously, there was... was it the Spanish flu years ago? But it was a different time. It was a totally different time. People didn't travel around as much, and they weren't. It just wasn't that. It just wasn't like that, was it? It just could just consider it to be a new thing. I don't like the way that he went from, what was it, 5 days? You had or was it 3 days? I can't remember what it was now. You had a certain amount of days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where you could go. But then it's like, no, you can only go on Christmas Day now. And the fact is, public transport isn't running on Christmas Day. And a lot of people don't have cars or drive. And it's like, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. If they'd have had it, let's say they'd have said, right, Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, Christmas Day, you could pick one household to visit, and that would be your bubble, and you can't go anywhere else. Maybe that would have been fine. But no, they went, no, fuck it, we'll just change it because that's what we do, because we don't know what we're doing. So they went buff Christmas Day because they knew they'd massively limit the amount of people that could travel and connect. And very clever, but at the same time, all he did is piss people off. Also, they were never going to be able to control it because, they haven't got coppers. They haven't got thousands of police officers roaming the streets, stopping. But excuse me, who are you? Where are you going? Where you been? What you doing? You know what I mean? They're not going to do that. They can't afford it. Yeah. You don't see bobbies on the beat nowadays, let alone patrolling the streets. What they're going to do? Pulling soldiers? Well, give it time. So yeah, I mean, my Christmas was fine. It was quiet. It was fine. I mean, I don't want to say we don't socialise. That's bad. We don't overly socialise. We're not always out and about doing stuff. So for us, it was just like, it's just another. In a way, it was just another day.
Yeah.
The whole year has just been another day, and those days have led into weeks, into months, into being slowly financially drained, and all the rest of it. So, but yeah, it was fine. The Christmas was, we didn't have as much money as what we would normally with the furlough, not being able to work. It's our primary sort of source of income, so it has been a bit of a pain in the ass. There's always been the thought of, I could get a new job, but you can't risk getting a new job at the moment because you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. We've just been in agreement to carry on the way we are, and we're surviving. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? We're surviving. Like the sandpit is pulling us down, and we're just on it. We haven't quite been sucked in. The Sarlacc hasn't got us yet. But it's fine. It's fine. And then the New Year was just the same, really, if not quieter, because we don't really do New Year. We watched Paddy McGuinness. Oh yeah, he was on. That was quite good. That was quite fun. I don't normally watch him, but I thought it was quite funny. And then we watched the Alicia Keys. There was like a bit of a concert.
We watched
that was going off at. Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Karina says that I was only watching it because she was half naked. Well, I actually posted that on Facebook. You might have seen it.
No, I've not been on. Well, we had a similar thought actually, because Jade had put it on, and I went in the room when she put it on, and I come in and first thing I said to her, where I should forgot to put a top on because it was basically a suit jacket and a bra, spangly bra that she had on, but I didn't mind. I'm not going to say that I was offended by it, but I definitely didn't mind.
She's 39.
Still pretty young.
That's more of the issue here is. She's I know, but you look a lot of 39-year-olds look like I don't even know what they're like. Some look terrible, and like the I don't know. No, surely you're just talking shit. Anyway, she looks good for her age. Yeah. She's obviously got the money to keep looking good. That sounds ridiculous, but I think it's relevant. I enjoyed the concert. I thought it was fine. I at not one point was I watching Alicia Keys going, why is she doing this? There should be somebody else doing it. I just enjoyed it. Yeah. But I was like, you wait till the newspapers get it. So I was looking at some of the headlines today, and it was Alicia Keys ruins New Year's Eve. I'm like, just like watch something else. Yeah. She wasn't doing any harm.
The kids were disappointed with her only because we got them up when after fireworks and everything had gone on, and they started to play Auld Lang Syne, and so I got kids up and that, and we did that crossed arm thing, and it just came on for like 2 seconds, and then she started singing New York. So kids were a bit disappointed because they wanted to sing Auld Lang Syne. So, but we just sang it and danced about, messed anyway. So
yeah, because New York's a very relevant, song to be singing. Did you enjoy the fireworks?
Yeah,
the London.
I found them a little bit. I know they wanted to like represent NHS and Captain Tom.
So what are you thinking?
I found it a bit put on. It was like laid on a little bit thick, and it was
political bullshit.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
It did feel like it should have been said at the end, like funded by the Conservative Party or something. You know, like
funded by Brexit.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit like that. They didn't seem to have any other achievements other than we survived COVID. It were like, I know not much has gone on, but surely there was anything or just some fireworks.
Yeah, at this point, like yesterday, I did not want to be watching fireworks. I mean, I thought the fireworks were great. I love fireworks. I know you say you don't like fireworks, do you? I love fireworks. I was like, oh my god, the world's exploding. I absolutely love it. I love feeling them. Like, boom, you know, when your whole body kind of like boom, absorbs. I love that. I love fireworks. Okay, calm down. But I saw the drones. I'm like, oh, those drones look wicked, and was like watching them. And I was really impressed by the night of the bird. You know,
when it starts
the nightingale.
flapping.
Oh, it was like it was like a wave, wasn't it? Like it was beautiful. Didn't really appreciate the fact that it was in the colours of the EU flag. I think that felt like a punch in the face. It was like blue and gold. I was like, that's not. You could have picked another colour. To be honest, I thought it looked fine, but I think that it was Sadiq Khan, wasn't it? So he's the mayor of London. That I don't really like Sadiq Khan. I find him a bit of a dick. But I was reading one of the newspapers. They kept it all secret. So the actual, the whole production and the theme and everything was just all kept secret. The BBC kept it a secret, and the police were involved in regards to keeping it secret as well. They wouldn't like let anyone know. I mean, it's like they had the Black Lives Matter fist as well. Yeah. Which I get it. It's been a bit of a topic. I know it's important, and we spoke about this privately. I get it, but at the same time, and a lot of the protests have turned into something they shouldn't be. I don't side with the smashing up businesses, looting. You know, once you start doing that, you lose the respect of a lot of people. Not only white business owners or white anyone, but you know, even a lot of the black community themselves. They've been like, yeah, Black Lives Matters, and it's something we need to look at, but you don't need to be smashing shit up. And I think at that, it was a bit polarizing. I think they could have left it out. They didn't, you know, it wasn't a review of 2020. It shouldn't have been a review of 2020. It should have just been, you know, NHS, Nightingale, well, the empty Nightingale Hospital, should we say. NHS, the hospitals are packed. I'm going all political, aren't I? I'm going a bit Russell. Russell! Where are you, Russell? Yeah. Well, yeah. But anyway, we're here to talk. You know, we spoke about 2020 and coronavirus and the way it's kind of hit us already, but we kind of want to talk about our favourite games and some films that we've experienced from 2020, and what are your thoughts on that? What have you enjoyed? Now we're gonna do. I know we're gonna roll it on to like a best game 2020, and we haven't got a joint one. We've got a personal one because me and you would never be able to agree on a best game. We're as gamers, we're very different. You're a bit more involved and technical. I'm a self-confessed basic bitch, and I don't have an issue with that. You like the intricacies, but I'm more like I like the basic stuff. I like, you know, give me something to let me punch a button and let stuff happen. You know what I mean? And I enjoy that. That gives me my gaming experience. That's what I enjoy. I think although two games that we both enjoy mutually, you know, Elite Dangerous, Sea of Thieves, Grand Theft, Red Dead, we can both appreciate what's going off in those. But yeah, what games have you enjoyed? That maybe have come out or that have come out before that we've played a lot of. What's filled your 2020 game space?
There's been not that many games that's actually come out this year that I've thoroughly enjoyed. I know there's there's been a couple, but because I let a few of them fly past me because I didn't play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I can't because the OCD.
Was Odyssey this year?
No, it was last year, but because I didn't play that, I can't allow myself to play Valhalla, which did come out this year. So until I've finished Odyssey, which I haven't bought or tried or played or anything yet, I can't play Valhalla, and I were quite looking forward to Valhalla. I mean, who don't like Vikings for a start? But so that one's gone away for me, so I can't comment on that one.
The problem with Vikings is that there's too many people on my Facebook that think they're a Viking. Yeah, calm down.
I know. I know what you mean.
Everyone's got one or two people which think they're a Viking, and I'm just like, bitch, you ain't a Viking. You work at Tesco. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
I've got a few games. Final Fantasy Remake, which come out in April. I know we're talking about things we like, but that's going to be my game of the year. Only because
you ruined it. You're supposed to save that till the end.
I know, it's because I've got so few, and because of the talking points involved in them. I won't talk too much about Final Fantasy, but that's been my big one for the year as a single player, just for myself. I would have picked actually Cyberpunk, not as the game of the year, but as one of my favourites. But it's only been out like 2 weeks, so you can't even
like
say
a special mention.
Yeah,
special mention.
It's my special mention. I've probably enjoyed that the most. Maybe more than Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe not.
Oh my god!
I know, but because it's only been out a few weeks, I can't really comment on it, and it's still getting updated and everything, and there's controversy and whatever. Another one of the games is Animal Crossing, which came out in March, and the reason I like that one is I know it seems like a bit of a kiddie, cartoony sort of game. It's because I got it at the beginning.
I don't think you can say that anymore. I don't think you can say that anymore.
Some
Minecraft, Terraria, these are games that adults play and enjoy, and by adults I mean like me and you.
Yeah,
so, we enjoy these games.
Quite a lot of adults I know like Animal Crossing, so it's not just that it's for kids, but it's because me, my wife, and kids have all played it together in his own little village, and we've worked towards doing the village up and helping each other out. So, and that came right at the beginning in March when the lockdown started. So we had all the time in the world to play it while everything were getting sorted.
Yeah.
And another game which I can't fully comment on because it's only in early access is Baldur's Gate, and that is beautiful. It's only going to get more beautiful, but because there's quite a lot of bugs in it. But because it's early access, I can't really say too much about that.
So you've only got access to is it the first bit of it?
Yeah, it's like Act 1, which I think it's about a third of game that you get. When it first came out, before the first update, it was a buggy mess. You could tell it was early access. After the third update, it improved drastically. There's been a couple more updates which I haven't played, but apparently they've sorted stuff out and everything. But it might be game of the year next year. Because it's not officially released until September, but we'll come back to that next year. Two other honourable mentions, because they didn't come out this year, but the games that I've thoroughly enjoyed playing is controversially Mass Effect Andromeda, which I've platinumed on PlayStation because I got it.
Oh, you platinum it?
Yeah, of course I have.
You lose.
Yeah. And Shadow of Mordor. I enjoyed the first one, never finished it. But I haven't finished Shadow of Mordor yet, but that's because Cyberpunk came out. But I'm enjoying that. I like the clearing things out and the Nemesis system. That's about it with games, because there are dry it's been. I know we got. I didn't want to talk about this one too much because I know that you're going to talk about it. But one of the games I've enjoyed the most was Warzone, because we've played it together. So it's kept us going through lockdown, because we've always been like, oh, get on, get this done, and we'll do this. But I won't go too much into detail because I know that you're going to want to speak about that. Cause
it did initially. It definitely did initially. So the games that you've enjoyed, but you ruined it by mentioning your game of the year. Yeah,
which I can tell. I've only mentioned it because that's probably the one I've enjoyed the most. I spent not the most time on it because I'd finished most in it. I haven't platinumed it yet, but Let's see.
Do you plan on platting it?
Yeah, it's just
Platting it? Do you plan on platting it?
yeah. I don't say that, but yeah,
Just weaving it all together.
I do.
Platting it? Are you platting?
Yeah. It was a controversial game when it came out because Die Hard original fans didn't want it. I am a Die Hard original fan, and I enjoyed it. And
I'm a Die Hard fan. I like Die Hard.
Yeah, I know. I can remember the discussion at Christmas about it. But it's
you're on about something. Oh, sorry, I was getting confused. Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, it's a very good game. It's not the same. It's like an alternate dimension, parallel universe thing. They don't tell you that, but that's what you find out. So if anyone hasn't played it, that's spoilers. So things don't happen the same way that they happen originally, and I think that makes it a bit better in the fact that people can forgive it for things that they were looking forward to that aren't in it, and things that are in it that weren't in the original. But I would say that's my game of the year. Other than that, it would have been Cyberpunk, but because it's only been out a few weeks and it's still needs lots of updates. That's where I stand with my games of the year and which ones I've enjoyed. What about you? I know I've mentioned Warzone, and I know that you're going to now talk about Warzone for about an hour, but
no, I'm not. No,
I'll start off with saying it's very good and I enjoy it, and I don't have any qualms with it. I know that people do, and I know that you like it more than me, and there's other reasons why you like it more than me. So
yeah, I'm going to start with games that we've enjoyed playing that didn't come out this year but came out last year. I think last year or even before. We've had a good bash on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Although it's lacking a bit of content at the moment, so you have to excuse me. I'm just going to use my inhaler. Yeah, we've had a good bash on Sea of Jesus Christ. What am I saying? Sea of Thieves. We've had a good. Ooh. Sea of Thieves. Yeah, we've had a good bash on that. We played it last year as well.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoy it. I appreciate how, like, with each every time you start on a boat, you start your game, you have nothing. And your character remains the same for each start through. But at the same time, I find it frustrating. I'd like a level of progression. I want it. I think once you've got 10 hours in, I think you should be able to get that character feeling like it's yours. You should. If you like melee, you should be able to make your melee strong, or if you want to be able to, you're like sniping, you should be able to get a decent sniper. Maybe that balance, like maybe like when you play in a game and you unlock like perk points, maybe something like that, so that you can be a really good with pistols, but shit with a sniper rifle. Something you need to do something with it, because I find that it feels every time you play it just feels vanilla. Oh, here's that game I'm playing again. I'm the same character. I want to change. I want to, I just want to be different. I want to be better. I want to be able, excuse me. I want to be able to carry more bullets. Like I said before, I think when you start a game, you should be able to craft something. Let's say you want to be able to carry more bullets. We'll use that example. You should be able to go and kill some animals, make a bag, something. Even if you had to do that each session, I'd be fine with that. Excuse me, I already ticked on my throat. I think that will be fun. But there's not been anything really this year to drag us back into it. We're doing those Tall Tales, and I think we've still got one to do, haven't we? But that game is a case for anyone that has played it or wants to play it. It's a game that once you've put 10 hours into it, I feel like all you're doing is repeating it. And I think the only thing that's really kept me playing is the fact that it was a social game that we were playing together, chit-chatting about, we were just bullshitting our way through it, and just, there'd be the odd time where I'd say, right, today I'm just going to attack any ship that comes across, and I like that. I don't think you should always play an aggressive character, but I think that sometimes it's fun to join in and just go, you know what? If we find someone today and they rub us the wrong way, we're just going to smash him. Which we have done before. And then other times have been really helpful. And our best moments in that game have been the extreme of both. a big battle has been fun, but at the same time, we've had a less than 5 sessions where we've met other characters and we've like played the game with them, and it's been so much fun. And yeah, it is a great game to play. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it will just get better. Yeah. So another game that didn't come out this year, which I really enjoyed playing, is Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. Now that came out like last year before, didn't it? It was a little while ago. Your fault really encouraging me to play that, but now I've got like 2 horses and I'm running around collecting flowers, and the graphics are stunning. I think it's one of the best looking games I've ever played in terms of what it's trying to achieve. Sea of Thieves is a very vector / cartoony animated it's a different style, and in itself that looks beautiful what it provides. But if you edge in a little bit towards realism, Red Dead Redemption 2 is absolutely phenomenal. And at the moment the online's super cheap, so if you're listening to this beginning of January, go on Steam, buy it. It's like £5. The sale will end at some point, and even then I think it's only about 15. But yeah, well worth getting, well worth playing. Even if you just get on a horse and just ride around, the game is beautiful and it's relaxing. The action is really good. Like you like to do bounties, so we'll run around just like shooting people and capturing them and getting a little lasso out, and it's great, absolute great fun. I've been playing Far Cry 5 as well. If you've ever played a Far Cry game, you've played Far Cry 5, because this is pretty much the same as Far Cry 4, Far Cry 3. The other ones are a bit different, but if you play Far Cry 3, then it's pretty much the same as this one. It's just a different environment. This one's sort of like it's a religious sect in like America.
It's like rednecks or something, isn't it? Like
a little bit, yeah, definitely a little bit. I think it's based on just America in general. I think it's every state has this problem. I think that's what happens. Could be wrong. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. GTA 5, we played a lot of that online. We played with your son. We played a ton of that. Like we played original Lockdown. We were on that like every night for like 3 hours or something. I swear I was close to divorce. But it was like, it's great playing with your lad. He's a very normal young lad, and it's funny. It's very funny. Brilliant game. And I think, our interest in that is definitely not as much as it was, but it's still a great game. Visuals as well, absolutely great. So they're what what came out not this year but previous. Well, 2019 and before that we've been playing. Obviously, GTA 5 came out like about 20 years ago, didn't it? So it's still going, and it's due to be released on like a reimagined on. It's coming out on the new consoles, isn't it? They're just going to carry on until Rockstar, just basically I think it's going to get full with money, and then they all die in this like giant money pit. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Games that came out, little special mentions for Microsoft Flight Simulator that came out. Now, I played that. I struggled with it because, oh my lord, is it difficult to really... But from what I did play, it is very good. It's absolutely beautiful. What they've done with it is amazing. And I know people have had a great time with that. So just a little mention, because it's one of those games that hasn't been out for a long time, that they're like, oh, it's coming out, and it was beautiful. Monster Hunter Iceborne we played.
Yep.
And we still need to finish, to be fair. We still need to jump into that and get on it. Because we had a lot of fun with Monster Hunter, and then Iceborne is just the same, but with furry collars, isn't it?
Fur coats. Everyone just gets fur armour. That's what it is.
There's loads more dead animals because we're stripping them down for fur. So we need to do Iceborne more. Now I'm going to head on to... In fact, we'll have a quick discussion about what I consider the biggest fail from this year, and then I'm going to say my 2 favourite, but then I'll crown sort of like one of them personally. I think I was looking forward to Cyberpunk. You obviously already mentioned Cyberpunk. I was really looking forward to it, and I don't have my hopes up too high with games, but if they work their marketing properly, you can't help but be a little bit excited for a game. and I was excited for it. And it came out, and that game, I mean, yes, it's finished in terms of you can play it to the end and be happy, but everyone's in agreement. I don't think there's anyone that will deny that that game is not finished. At some point, someone has turned around and said, right, guys, the game needs to release, and it needs to release next fucking week. We need to put a date on it. It's been delayed twice. It was supposed to be out in, April?
And then maybe August, and then October. Yeah.
And they've released it, and for some people, not everybody, I get that. Some people are having a great time with it. You're on PS4 with it, and you say you're having a great time with it. And I believe you, because I do. It's simple as that. But there are people that are playing it on PS4 and having a horrendous time with it. There are people that it's pretty much unplayable on the Xbox One. And it shouldn't be. People are going to argue and be like, "Oh, well, it's not. It's an old generation." No, it's current. The Xbox is still a current generation, and you have to remember that it was going to come out when the Xbox was still the only generation. Now it's still current generation. There's still a big crossover period. We all know that between you have your Xbox, you have your PlayStation, your new Xbox Series S and X. And there's that point, there's that little bit where people have one or the other, and it should be playable. I should be able to buy my Xbox. I've got an Xbox One S, which was like the second one, because there's three. There's the One X, isn't there, as well, which is the more powerful one. But I have an S. I should be able to buy it, play it, and be happy with it. But that's not the experience people are having. People are buying it, playing it, sort of playing it, crashing a lot. Things that people look like potatoes walking around, and people are having a terrible time with it. And I think we all want the truth. That we all want the truth, don't we? We all want to be like, oh, so it's your fault. You're the one that's turned around and said it needs releasing, because they shouldn't have fucking released it, and it's a massive disappointment. And ultimately, it has to be the biggest failure for this year, due to it being AAA, due to it being massively hyped, due to it looking absolutely beautiful, but then it releasing and all the problems. Now, the way I looked at it, we've already spoken about this, but it's going to do a No Man's Sky. That's all I'm going to say. And I think that, this time next year, we'll look back and we'll go, Cyberpunk, it's been nailed, and now it's massive. All that DLC is brilliant. The game's running absolutely fine. But at the moment, it's failed. Big time. And not in sales, because we all know that it's sold a lot of copies. So it's not, failed in that regard. Financially, it's not failed.
I think it turned a profit, didn't it, in first day? They'd already earned the money back and then some.
Yeah. Yeah, an unbelievable amount. And, even running up to it, they only allowed people to review. They gave them copies to play. No console copies were given out for review. Only PC. And they weren't allowed. You could post a review, but you could only post footage that they've provided, not your own footage. You don't need to have a big discussion about that to realise that is a shady tactic. Like, they knew. They'd been playing it, just going, fuck me, why is that guy upside down? Why have we got 25 pedestrians T-posing? Why is that car spawned inside of another car? Why has that one just been walked into and flown across the street? I'm just saying these. Google it. Go on YouTube. The videos are there. It failed. However, it's going to come next year. I'm hoping that it's going to be fine, and that maybe it'll never reach the point of what it needs to be on the original Xbox. Maybe, I don't know, but that's fine, because that's like 7-year-old hardware. But yeah, hopefully it'll be fine, and then all will be forgiven, nearly. But will the trust be there for the next game when they announce their next game? We've got a game coming out in a couple of years' time. Everyone's going to go, all right, We'll see what happens. I think people need to stop pre-ordering. I think I'd like to see that stop big time. I don't think companies, I don't think they deserve it. You shouldn't put your faith too much. I pre-ordered a game once and regretted it. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, absolute garbage. Really bad. I had a game-breaking... I was near the end, and I had a game-breaking bug, and I basically lost my game save. I couldn't do anything with it. Anything. So yeah, big fail. So I'm waffling on. I'm going to get on to my 2 favourite games. One of them is Streets of Rage 4. Big fan of Streets of Rage. Maybe more the music than the game. That initial opening music. Oh my god. It's amazing. Hearing that is like when I hear like the He-Man intro, and I'm like, ooh, it's my game. It's I hear it and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. The memories, big time flashbacks. The art style, the playability, just everything about it. It is so good. If you haven't played Streets of Rage 4, play it. It is absolutely beautiful to play. It's a true sequel. They gave it to a company that really loved it, and they smashed it out of the park. And it's a simple game. It's not supposed to be a fancy game, but you don't have to spend millions and millions on a game for it to be game of the year for anybody. We all know that. It's amazing. Streets of Rage 4, play it. New characters, new bad guys, new scenes, new set pieces. Just, if you like side-scrolling beat-em-ups and you're a big fan of the original Streets of Rage, this is the one. It's on... Is it on PlayStation? I don't know.
I think it might.
It's on Xbox. I think it's on Game Pass. I do know that. You get it on Xbox, get it on PC. I've been playing it on PC. Fantastic game. So rolling on to my next game, which for me is my game of this year, is Call of Duty Warzone. And people are all like, oh, it's just Call of Duty. And it's easy to say that. It's just Call of Duty. Fine, it's COD, another COD game. Every year, a new COD game. And I've not been interested in Call of Duty since... not massively, since Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3, although one was great, 2, fantastic, 3, good, but, for me, the Modern Warfare 2 was my favourite. And I think a lot of people agree with me. It's one of those accepted kind of like Call of Duty. So everyone loved Modern Warfare 2. But looking at Warzone, it's free. It's a battle royale game. Also, there's not just battle royale, as we played a lot of a mode called Plunder. So if you don't want the stress of battle royale, play Plunder. It's a bit more easygoing, collect cash. But you still get those moments, those big firefights, which me and yourself, Nathan, we mastered the art of trapping people on stairs and killing them multiple times and having them basically spawn back over and over and over again. And we were just raking them, whether it's landmines or just knowing where people are going to be, using heartbeat sensors, just these little things, these tactics that we were using were massively effective. And it made, we might have a shit night playing, but then we'd have a good session. It'd just be like, wow, that was a good game. And it just makes you come back, doesn't it? It makes you want to play again, and you come back and play. Like I say, it's free. You can pay for a battle pass, and you get some good stuff, some not so good stuff. I think the battle passes in general are worth it. They kind of encourage you to play. Quite satisfying to play and achieve, get that next level, unlock something. You might unlock a nice gun or a nice new operator. Kind of meaningless, but it's not. It's nice to do that. One of the reasons I appreciate Warzone, and the way I am with games, is I can just put it on, smash it out, come out of the game, and I'm fine. I don't need to worry about a story. I just want to jump in, I want to shoot some people, I want to leave and not have to think about it. And then tomorrow I can just rinse and repeat. There's not a story to it. Although we did buy Modern Warfare, I still need to finish that. But the multiplayer's fun, but Warzone is great fun. The mechanics are brilliant on it. It plays well. The guns feel great. The characters feel great. Battle Royale is also fun on it. I enjoy the stress of knowing that there's someone around the corner that can kill you in an NG game. Battle Royale gives you that end sort of 5-10 minutes gives you an adrenaline rush, which is addictive, and you want to play again and again. I appreciate that. I know some people don't like Battle Royale because they jump in, you have to wait to join, you land, collect some guns, you die, and it's like, oh, so it's like kills you, you have to start again. That's annoying, but as you get better and play better, you do better. You have more fun. For me, Warzone was the game for this year, and that's all I've got to say about it. I'm not going to go on any more about it. That's all I'm going to say about it. For me, Warzone. For you, Final Fantasy, was it?
I'll go with Final Fantasy, the remake.
And that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So the games we've had a lot of. I've also had a lot of time to watch films. Have you watched any good films this year?
Yeah, I went back over everything I'd watched, and I have really, really struggled to find good films that I liked, and I've only found
overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, that I thought I enjoyed that. I'd watch that again, and it's been a very dry year for films because, like I do like films and I do watch quite a lot of them. The only one I can think of this year was Onward, which is a kids' film. It was on Disney Plus. I think it's still on Disney Plus. It came part of the subscription, and it's like a Disney Pixar sort of normal film. What they do, it's like computer generated, and it's like if magic and dragons and everything was real, and then technology took over, and it's in the future. Well, it's like present day, and people's forgot basically what magic is, and they go on a quest to resurrect his dad. I won't spoil it all, but it is. I think adults and kids can both like it, and that's the standout film that I've took from this year. I won't, because we've not actually 100% finished watching it. Soul, which is on Disney Plus as well, which is another kids' film.
Yeah, we watched it the other day. Have you not finished it?
No, we didn't. We've got like 10 minutes ending to watch. But I enjoyed that. I thought that was quite a good film. And the only adult film that I can think of was The Invisible Man. Do you know I can't remember her name, the woman from Handmaid's Tale. She's like the main actress. That was quite good. It weren't the best film. I'm probably not going to watch it again. I watched the Tom Holland Devil Inside. I can't remember what it was called. That was quite a good film, but not the best film, and I probably won't watch that again.
I don't think I've heard.
It's I think it was on Netflix in UK anyway. It was like a Netflix only, straight onto there, not a cinema release. I think it might have been released in cinema in America.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to watch Spider-Man in like 1950s or earlier, driving around in a truck, it's quite good.
I don't think I do, but I might.
Yeah, I would recommend watching it. I'm probably not going to watch it again. But yeah, this year's been dry. I know next year's going to get better. I've got some films, but what about you for this year? What films have you enjoyed?
I mean, same. I mean, no cinema, so it's been a bit like the experience-wise, it's been pretty shit, isn't it? I mean, luckily for me, I've got a big tele and I've got some big speakers. I can put it on. I can have a decent experience of the film. But as far as like really good films, I've been struggling. Some that I'd mentioned, I really enjoyed 1917 that came out. Did you watch 1917?
I don't think I've watched it.
See if you can get hold of it. I'm not sure what it's on. I watched it a while ago now. It's set World War One, and it's got the gimmick was that the camera never cuts.
Yeah.
Obviously it does, but they didn't film it in 2 hours. Yeah. But it's a never-ending scene, and it's amazing. It's only when you think about it do you realise that it's a never-ending scene. But stunning film, and a film I will watch again. I won't watch it with the same amount of wow, but I'll probably watch it with more appreciation. Beautiful film. I love war. I like war films anyway. I always think, because a lot of them are based, with truths, and a lot of them are also accurate. And I think every time you watch a war film, you get a new bit of information about the war, because there's so much that as we're growing up we don't know, isn't there? And you when people get into it, even if it's the war accurate uniforms or just the way they did things, I can't recommend it enough. Another film I watched, which I spoke to you about the other day, was a film called Underwater. Had Kirsten Stewart in it from Twilight fame. So it's, if you've seen Alien, basically you've seen Underwater. It's as simple as that. However, with it being a different setting, it has a different aesthetic to it. It is a bit of a rip-off, and it was I think the writer, director, I don't know if it's the same person, probably not. The writer has said that it was heavily inspired by Alien. I mean, but it was to the point of it being more of a rip-off than anything else. But I really enjoyed it. I like Kirsten Stewart. I think she's okay. And she played a great Ripley. She really did. She's got, I know she's comes across a bit soft and drippy, but in this she commanded a bit more respect. And I can appreciate it. I enjoyed it. A lot of people, I'm on a few Alien sort of like Facebook groups, and it was like a lot of people were like, it's rubbish, it's nothing like Alien. But then there was a lot of people that were saying it was amazing, they really enjoyed it. So I just take it as it is. It's a good film. Mulan, did you watch the new Mulan film?
No, we've got that to watch. That we're hoping to watch that this weekend.
Yeah, that's good. Don't let the harsh critics moan about it. It's not based heavily on the kind of Disney cartoon. It's based more on, I think, the more of the true legend of Mulan as opposed to the cartoon. So it's good. If you remember in like the 70s, 80s, there was a lot of like martial arts films where they'd like jump and they'd float in the air and then they'd kick, and so it has that kind of weirdness to it. But it's still exceptionally good. And then there was some the Extraction, which came out with Chris Hemsworth on Netflix. That was good. There was also, I don't know if you've seen it. I think it was on Netflix, called Old Guard with Charlize Theron. That was to do with like powerful humans that would, and if one died, they'd come back and they couldn't be killed, and they had to say that was really good. Old Guard. There was loads of good films, but nothing that was like, wow. I watched that Tenet film. Tenet. Fucking hell. That was just confusing. I will watch that again. There's a couple of films which I felt fell short for me. Bill and Ted. Did you watch the Bill and Ted?
No, I've been waiting for that to be officially released before I watch it.
That for me was fun, but it wasn't quite hitting the mark. There was a character in it that was because their daughters are in it. That's not a spoiler. Their daughters are in it. And she really reminds me of one of my daughters, and it just made me laugh like seeing her. The new Bad Boys film.
Yeah,
have you seen?
I didn't like that.
Do you see? I enjoyed it right until the end. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that's not watched it, but I enjoyed it, except right at the end, something was done, and it was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Just no. And I think everyone was the same, like, no. Fun film. Just don't watch the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you watch the new Borat film?
I did, and I wasn't. It was okay. It was just okay for me. I liked it, but I don't think I'll watch it again. Not like the first one, which I would watch it again.
I want to watch the first one again. No, I did watch the first one. God, it's been so confusing. I have watched the first one again recently. I think it was just before I watched the new one. The first one is amazing, but it was kind of original as well. The second one, it feels like DLC for the first one, as opposed, it's like add-on. It's like an extra. It could have just been an extra bit. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't as good as the nowhere near as good as the first one. That was a bit sad. I have watched. I have seen the new Wonder Woman. Probably shouldn't mention that, but I have seen I've seen the new Wonder Woman, and it's very hard. It's very hard to talk about it. It's has some good parts, but I think if you pay attention to the film, you'll be disappointed. And it had a bit like, it was a bit cyberpunk for me. It was bigged up. It was like 1980s. Remember seeing the trailers for it? Or you don't like trailers, do you? But the trailers for it really pumped it up as being this 1980, this playing to the older people that would really enjoy it. You know, like the crappy clothes and the music. And then you watch the film and you just go, what? Where was it? There was one scene. No, there was maybe a couple, but there was one main scene where they were talking about clothes. Just these terrible 80s clothes. And then the rest of it was, I enjoyed the cast, but I think the film itself was pretty much garbage. Is there anything 2021 film-wise? Have you noted anything that's coming out?
I have, and I've got a special mention for you that you might get a bit excited about. I'm hoping that you don't know about it, because
I'm going to open this bottle, so excuse me. Yeah, you carry on.
Yeah, I didn't know about this, but now I
hope I know.
Now I know. I'm excited for this. Masters of the Universe is getting remade.
Oh, I heard about this, but a while ago. I feel like I've not heard a lot.
Yeah, there's no cast. I can't give you any details. Other than it's coming out next year. There's no confirmed cast, no confirmed storyline. It's just off the back of the success of She-Ra. That's the main driving force for it. That's the only information I could get.
She-Ra is in the cartoon.
Yeah, because that's sort of reignited interest. So I don't think they'll have Dolph Lundgren in again. I mean, I hope they do. He needs a cameo.
They could do. They could do. He's buff as fuck.
He's
Bring him
ripped,
in it.
So he's
smash it.
He would be good. My other ones are Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I know you're looking forward to.
It's on my list.
Yep. I haven't watched the trailer. Because, like you mentioned, I don't watch trailers because I don't want to know. I like it to be a surprise. Morbius, which I don't know if you know about Morbius.
Oh, that's got that really crap Joker in it, hasn't it?
Jared Leto, yeah.
That's the one, yeah.
I always liked...
I don't like it.
I don't know if you can remember the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s. You know, the Amazing Spider-Man.
With it, like, over-the-top kind of intro and the music.
Yeah, I won't sing it, but you know what I mean. That
Spider-Man. Was it that one?
No, it was the...
Oh, no, was it?
That was the 60s one, that one.
Oh, no, was it? No, I'm thinking of, like, the actual TV show, aren't I? All right, you carry on. I'm just Googling 90s Spider-Man.
It's... I liked the character from that, and then they've decided to make a film about it, which is like a sort of vampire, basically. So I think that might be good. We spoke about this before, and this is a film that should have been out this year, which... I think it's 3 times or 2 times it's been pushed back. Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, where he plays like an NPC in like an open world.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the one. I weren't going to sing.
Oh yeah, I was just listening to it. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah. Oh my god, my face. I'm quite warm. My face is really red. Yeah, I have seen something to do with that Free Man. It does look quite good, but I haven't seen a lot, so we'll see what kind of gets.
That is one of the films that I've actually seen a trailer to, and I thought I do want to watch that because I quite like Ryan Reynolds.
Is he? Yeah, he's alright. Is he stuck in a computer game?
No, he plays like an NPC that becomes self-aware. He realizes he's like an NPC in it's like a Grand Theft Auto sort of VR world.
Interesting. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it does, but also good. Candyman. I don't know if you've ever watched original.
Candyman?
Yeah, the remake.
Candyman.
Yeah. Don't say it anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 times anyway, you have to say it.
There is 3.
And then you've got...
Candyman.
Obviously, original's right good. I can't think it's 90s, isn't it? Like sort of cheesy 90s. I watched it not long since as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That's always been one that I enjoyed as a kid. And another one, which I'm going to guess that you're looking forward to as well, is Dune. I've never seen the original, and I would quite like to watch this because I know the book is supposed to be monumentally good.
I've got the book, and I've got the film, and I really struggle to read the book because it's so big, and I look at it, I just go... no, I'll leave that another time. And I've watched a lot of the film I haven't watched it all, but I really struggle with it because I think it comes across a bit crap, and I don't really enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
Maybe I
does.
should. Maybe I think it's one of those sci-fi films which deserves a remake. Unlike Ghostbusters, that I mean, the two Ghostbusters and then this new one. That's fine because it's going to be a bit different. But I'm glad they never tried to remake the original sort of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you got anything to add to this lovely list?
Yeah, I mean, my list was Dune and it was Ghostbusters. I watched the trailer for Ghostbusters and it looked so good. I was talking about it with someone at work and she was really excited for it as well. She's a bit of a nerd. Black Widow.
Yeah.
Because Black Widow is a cool character, but also Scarlett Johansson is amazing. So we need, that is not really much more to say there. I watched the trailer for that. It looks great. The new Batman film should be coming out, or I think did it get delayed now?
Yeah.
You know what? I think I saw it got delayed till 2022. Yeah, I think it's been delayed again. I think I remember reading it the other day.
Yeah, they shut production there because someone got coronavirus or something. I don't know if it was Robert
great.
Pattinson or someone.
Probably had a hissy fit or some shit, don't know. Broke a nail or some bullshit. I've got the other film I've got on here is we mentioned it the other day. Well, I spoke about it. I don't think you knew about it. It was Eternals.
Yeah.
Which is you said was Marvel, yeah. And that looks interesting. The only bad thing about that is that it's got Kit Harington in it and Richard Madden, who are both. So it's just going to be like a Game of Thrones reunion, which I always get a bit shook when there's two actors in something that have been in something else together. It's always a bit like, can't you get somebody else? But I do like both Kit Harington and Richard Madden, so I really enjoyed watching Richard Madden in Bodyguard. Was it Bodyguard? That show, did you watch that? Where he was a bodyguard?
No, Jade did.
And really good. So good. Really fucking good.
She watched it without me, so I can't forgive her for that because I did actually want to
What
watch
a
that.
cow.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you tell her. You get backhand that one. That is such a good... Me and Karina, because I'd kind of avoided it for a little while, and then I was like, oh, hang on. I don't know when we watched it. Might have been this year, first lockdown. I don't know. But we watched it, and we really enjoyed it. We got addicted to it. We had to get watched. It was just so good. Yeah. He's such a good actor, Richard Madden. And I love the fact that it was set in this country. It was set in London, so you can kind of relate to it. I feel like every American film is set in New York, and then when you get a film in this country or program, it tends to be set in London. Yeah. But it was like, oh, we've been there. Oh, I remember that little bridge. That's a little shop around there. It was fun to watch and just appreciate the fact that it was a good, solid, good English sort of program, which I don't watch that many of, I guess. But yeah, Eternals looks great. They're like the good ears, and then there's the bad ears, and then there's... I think it'll be really good. They've all got blue suits on, so they look cool. That's blue suits. They look good. It looks good. I don't think it's a trailer or anything like that. I just think it's kind of like bits that they've got, bits and pieces that people have read about. But that is set to come out, which is now this year. I'm still getting confused with this, but this year, so we'll see how it goes. So yeah, films, games, and the rest of the year. Yeah. So you said to me, Lee, get yourself some New Year's resolutions. Excuse me, oh dear,
I'm tearing up.
Have you got any New Year's resolutions? And I turned around to you and said, I don't do New Year's resolutions. What a load of rubbish! And you were very disappointed in me. Mainly because I used to do them a lot. I used to write a list and then I just basically forgot that I'd written the list, and it was like, oh, what a waste of time. And also, I'm a fairly negative person, as you know, as part of my charm. And so you made me just like, well, you got to think of some stuff. So I did, but I want to hear what you're looking to do first.
My first one is, well, the resolutions, but the things I hope to change. In the next year, I would like to get fit a little bit more because I think I'm getting on in years, and I'm not gonna look this gorgeous forever. So I need to maybe start working
like a fine wine, Nathan. Yeah,
I'm
fine wine.
Maturing, but I need a little bit of help to keep me going. So I'm thinking maybe get fit. Start taking things a bit more seriously, and as you know, it's coming up to at the end of this month. Now we're in January. A year since I got made redundant, and I would yeah.
Dawson.
I know it's the way things have worked out. It's actually worked out quite well because I've obviously had to be at home for kids more, and with Jade being a key worker, she can't take any time off or anything, so it's worked out well. But I'm really really ready to go back into work somewhere. So I'm looking at retraining or trying something different because I feel like I've done enough with things I've done before, and I would like something new. So
I have thought of something that I'm looking into at the moment. I was looking into it yesterday. I was thinking about it for the last couple of weeks. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but you carry on. Sorry, I just had to just like because I'm in that same. I have a job, but I'm not allowed to go to work. Not because I'm a key worker, because I'm just not allowed to go to work. You can't go to work because you're going to give everyone a virus. Sorry, was that it? Was there anything else?
Yeah, that's. I'm already perfect, aren't I? So there's only them two. There's only them two things that I need to work on. I mean, I could spend more time with kids, but I've just been stuck in house with them for a year, so seems that also seems a little redundant. But
I think you can spend too much time with them. Sometimes.
Yeah, I think you can. After at the tail end of a 2-week holiday over Christmas, I'm about at my limit now, so I'm ready for Monday. Even though I've got one, same as you, who's going to be at home until 14th or 18th or whenever it is.
Or September.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm under no illusion it's going to be mid-January. I'm thinking February, March time, but we'll see how it goes.
When they was on about this, the new, I'll say the new lockdown, but like when the tier system came in and when loads of people had to stop working again. My manager was like, "Yep, see you after Christmas," and I was like, "You're talking bollocks." I said, "We're back in a month." No, when he get back, I'm just going to be looking at him like, "All right, smart ass, all right," and he's going to proper rub it in. But yeah, we've been off. So I've been off work, as you know, and I mean I had 10 years off work. That sounds ridiculous to some people, but Karina was working a decent job. She was getting on with it, and she enjoyed her job, but then she got made redundant. Obviously, you know what that's like. So we swapped over, but now obviously I can't work. But I want to. I don't know. Do I enjoy? I'm just trying to. I'm thinking about it now. Do I enjoy working? That's a weird one. I think I do. I think I do, but I don't want to work too much.
I don't think anybody does.
I enjoy it. No, I think I think like the way people work is, people shouldn't be doing 40 hours a week. People should be doing like 30 hours a week. Excuse me. They should be doing like 30 hours a week, having 3 days off, or doing whatever hours. But I think I'd like to see everybody, having 3 days off. You know what I mean? Have a chance to actually have a break, because if you're working a job that's, let's say you're good at, but it's annoying, you need that break, that recuperation to get back in. You could have you could do 8-10 hours a day in those 4 days, and then you could have a long, you could have that long weekend, or that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever. You could have them off, and you can pursue, because people are trapped in work so much, they never get to find out what they like to do. They never get to pursue their own little things. I do shift work, which a lot of people don't like the thought of, but I quite enjoy shift work, I think, because it mixes me up a little bit. The only problem with shift work is that you find it hard to set a day to do something. So I could, if I was to speak to the upper management, I could be like, you know what, I really need Thursday night off, or all the time. It shouldn't be a problem, because there are people that do that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm looking for a new job. I want to do something new. I'm wasted, and I know that sounds terrible to say, but I feel like there are some. Okay, so there's probably some people that I work with that might actually listen to this and don't be offended by it, but there are some people that do the job at my work, do their job, and they do it very well, and some of them are meant to do it. Some of them are just very good at the job and they just get on with it and they do it. But some of you, and I will never say who, don't ask me, but some of you are wasted big time and you should be doing something different. And I feel personally like I should be doing something different. I get on my job, I enjoy it, I just do it, I get paid, I go home, I don't tend to fuck up in my work. And whatever job you do, there's always potential to fuck up in it. Whether you work in an office, whether you're a bus driver, whether you pull pints, whatever you do, there's a chance that you can fuck up. I don't tend to fuck up in my work. My actual manager of the area that I work in is very good. I really enjoy working with him. He's a top guy. And he was kind of made to do that job. And he gets on with it. He's been doing it for like 10 years and he just does it. But I get very itchy feet. I get like, I know how to do that now. I want to do something else.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, what do I like doing? I like creating. I do like this whole making something. Like, we're doing this podcast and, there's half a chance that no one's ever going to listen to it, but it's fun to do. Isn't it? It's fun. And, if it goes well, I'd like to push it out for a year. And at the end of that year, once we set our format, because we will be looking at our format, what we do, it won't just be this is a New Year's chat, but then we're going to go on to do other stuff, and hopefully, if that format catches on, maybe we can extend, maybe we can do some more things with YouTube, maybe we can, and it's the dream, isn't it? The dream to be able to create that little bit. I'd love to create that little bit of an income. I know that's like a pipe dream. Even if you could make like £100, £200 a month, it would be that little pocket money, wouldn't it? That would pay that bill, or you can make new friends. You can, and it's a great confidence booster. It's a great experience to do it. And we've got a list of people that we're going to be picking on. We're going to be dragging them in to talk to them. Hopefully soon, maybe even next episode. Who knows? We'll see. But we've got a few people that we're going to be contacting. What I was looking at is got a right itch on the end of my nose. What I was looking at is something to do with computers.
Yeah. Something
to do with IT. And when it comes to computers and IT stuff, I tend to pick it up quite quickly. I know enough that I can do a lot of it. I'm learning all the time. As we discovered the other day from that conversation, we won't discuss what it was, but that conversation we had the other day, it was something new that you knew that I didn't, that was, you thought was common knowledge, but wasn't common knowledge. And it was like, oh, you obviously found out at some point in your life and other people haven't. I'm looking to do something in IT. And there's a large market in IT that's growing all the time, and that's cybersecurity. Because there's just more and more utter losers out there who want to break into people's networks, into people's PCs or business networks or whatever, or break websites. So I'm looking at doing. I've downloaded some documents. I'm going to have a read through them at some point. Doing something to do with IT, cybersecurity. Possibly, I want to have a look at something called ethical hacking. Which, let's say you had a company, you would hire someone and you'd say, right, I want you to break into my network. And then once you've done it, I want you to tell me how you did it. And then you help them fix it. I think that could be really interesting. The problem I have with looking at retraining is, like you said, you're not a young man anymore. I'm not a young man anymore. But I mean, we are in some regards. We aren't in other regards. Like, you look at workforces for some areas and they hire younger people. They do. But as somebody that's 41, you're somebody that is, you're approaching 40, and you are approaching 40.
Yeah.
A few years, you'll be there.
Years, but nearly.
You'll be there. And you do question. I questioned a lot of things at 30. But at 40, I'm like, what am I doing? Who am I? What am I? There's a lot of things that I haven't done. And I think if you don't do them, they can really mess you up when it comes to later in life. And so I'm looking at doing some retraining. I'm going to dig into it. And also something like this is anyone can sit behind a desk for a few hours a day, working and earning money. And, you know, if let's say this time next year I'm there or the year after, then, you know, I could do that for the rest of my working life. I'm not necessarily I want to, but I could do it. At some point, you know, as you get older, you know, physically, there are certain things that you won't or can't do. I know people that struggle with doing stuff. They're a few years older than me. There's people that are younger than me that've got a bad knee, you know, and it's never going to get better. And it affects what they do in terms of work. So retraining is one of the things. Did you think of something you wanted to do, or are you still kind of messing about?
No, I've got a couple. IT were one of mine. I wouldn't mind doing something with that. But I've always thought about writing or illustrating. There are a couple of mine that I'm fettling with. Nothing set in stone yet, but hopefully it will be in the next few weeks. But we'll see.
Yeah,
but I don't want to get into this time next year and feel as though I've wasted another year, because I think everyone has got that feeling, especially after the last year, of everyone's just been on standby, haven't they? And it's just been terrible. Nobody's been able to really do what they want, so I want to make this year feel like
you say that, but I got my back garden sorted out, mate, and I would have never done that if I was working full time. Never would have done that. But that's done. That's looking amazing. You got your shed done, didn't you?
That's my one achievement of this year. I've got that written down. That I did my brew house. That I made it all and sorted it all out. I mean,
but it will last you a lifetime. Yeah. Same with the back garden. Yeah. It was a lot of work, but we got it done, and it was a shit ton of work. We got it done, and now all it needs is maintenance. Yeah. Same with your brew house. You just lick a paint, check the electrics, you know, make sure things are okay, and that's the same with the garden, isn't it? All we need to do is cut it and weed it, and it's that, you know, that monthly maintenance, and you're done. But yeah, I've got. Oh yeah, I want to lose a bit of weight. Looking back at. There's one of my wedding photos, and I was like, wow. You know, I think I want to lose probably 2 stone. Yeah. So Karina's sort of doing a bit of weight loss stuff as well, so I'm going to piggyback off that and probably do a bit of my own thing. See how that goes. And the other thing that I'm doing this year is concentrating a lot on my middle daughter Paige in terms of her education, getting something more organised in terms of her future. And she needs good support in order to sort of carry on. Yeah. And we'll make sure she gets it, and we'll make sure that works out for her. And it will do. I'm not deluding myself. I'm not going, it'll be fine. I genuinely think it will be fine. I think everything's. So we had that guy that came at the door, was doing like checking up on people. It's like I said to him, anyone can go to college to study at a low level of anything with 0 education. And so we could literally leave Paige and not do anything. Well, we wouldn't, but you understand what I'm saying. You can go into college, if you know nothing apart from what life has taught you, you can go into college and start an IT course, but you'd be on the bottom level. The only problem is you'd be on the bottom level. So we want to make sure that she's ready to not be on the bottom level, but to be on that next level, and then she can carry on from there. Well, she needs to think about what she wants to do and what have you. But she's super smart, and I think she'll be fine. Absolutely fine.
So that wraps things up. Thanks for joining us on this special New Year's podcast. I've been Nathan,
and I've been Lee,
and we hope you've had a good New Year. Bye.
See you later. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our podcast, Sage's Retreat. You can find us on Spotify, Facebook, Podcast Addict, Google Podcasts, and of course YouTube. Thank you.